Welcome everybody to RWB Racing's Mitel 2020 SF Series race number 4 at Tokyo. We're going to go ahead and get a little love to our sponsor Mitel, and then we will come back and do a little grid walk and introduce my fellow cohorts. So hang in there.
At Mitel, we are powering connections. We do it because the world is clamoring to be more connected. Marching to more mobility, we do it because the world wants to be more seamless and more secure, more collaborative, more in the cloud, and we will power it because every business's future depends on the power of connections. Every business's success is driven by it. We are powering connections for the networks of today and tomorrow, for the far-flung employees of companies worldwide, for the billions of devices that are always on and that need to always be connected. We are powering connections to modernize every organization we touch, to unleash the power of simple, seamless collaboration, to enable every customer to own their destiny and secure their future. We have one vision, one mission. We are one company. We are Mitel, and we are powering connections.
All right. Well, Mitel's not technically officially a sponsor, but I love these guys. Been working with them for I don't know how many years now, and I just wanted to throw that out. Give them some love. So, speaking of love, I want to introduce my co-commentators, RWB Cupcake 33. Welcome, sir.
Welcome aboard there, Mr. Presidio.
Yeah.
It is a fine, lovely, rainy day here at Tokyo.
Yes, indeed. Also, we have with us our last 2 seasons champion, RWB V. Francisco. Welcome aboard, sir. Glad to have you.
How's it going? I'm glad you guys rolled out the red carpet for me tonight. It's been a great time coming by. How's it going, Chris?
It's going great.
It's always a blast being here with you guys.
Yep, it's a good time. Well, this is Tokyo. It's wet. It's walls and it's fast cars. It's so much fun. This was such a great race, and I know that all 3 of us were in there, and there was just nail biting in every corner with these slippery cars, huh?
Yeah, it's so true. The funny thing about this track is that with the super formulas, when it is dry, you can carry like the lines on the track say, you can carry 2 cars into every corner. But when it's wet, Cupcake, tell me about it. It almost became one line, didn't it?
It was nothing but a one-line race. I mean, there were certain points you could pass people, but a lot of times it came down to the front stretch and how people had their transmissions tuned. I dealt with that firsthand, as you guys will see here later on in the race. But I mean, honestly, it was either that or maybe Sector 2 is where you could pass people, and that was it.
Yep, there was the only place you get passes is when people wreck out in front of you or hit something and slow down. That's pretty much how all my overtakes went down for the night. I remember. Well, we don't want to give away. We don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, too much. No, we don't. Let's go with the races then.
How about we take a quick little grid walk? We'll walk down the grid. We'll show off all these drivers. Let them see what we got. So first, let's take over here. Our first car here on P1 in pole position is T64 Turbo on AlphaTauri.
Yeah, and this guy is mighty fast. I love when this guy shows up to the races because it really gets to show how much we've improved by how close we get to him. He is first place in the championship standings at the moment with 75 points. And, man, it's going to take everything you got to keep up with this guy and try to beat him.
Indeed. All right. Well, next we're going to go into P2 is Red Bull and Ibent. I had the wrong name up there earlier, but here he is.
Yes, and Ibent, he has been fairly consistent. I know he's finished maybe towards mid-pack or the rear of the pack, but tonight's race he qualified second, and that's going to help him in the point standings. I'm looking at the standings right now. He's tied in 14th place with Mr. Grasso. So I'm hoping to see a good result come from this very strong qualifying effort. And back to you.
All right. In P3 is none other than. Wait a minute. I have my stuff all wrong. That would be our number 12, Joey Cannoli.
Yeah, and this is my teammate actually in this championship. And one thing I've learned about Joey is, yeah, he's been dubbed for the Joey wear and all of that. But man, this guy is mighty quick. Don't look past him. He has not finished once below 7th place in the season so far. He's currently in the standings. He's currently in 6th place in the standings with 32 points. So this is gonna be interesting. And now we go to 4th.
All right. On to 4th place is the number 24 car, Presidio Dog.
Who's that guy?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard his name is actually Presidio or Mr. Kit Kat. Had a very strong qualifying here. He's starting in, P4. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do this time around. I know he's in the top 5 in terms of points. He's maybe about 5 points away from Patriotic and about 10 points away from yours truly. But you know what? This is a rain race. Anything can happen. So back to you, Mr. Tabasco. Chris.
All right. Next is our number 13. That would be Patriotic Tifosi.
Yeah, and Patriotic Tifosi, like you said, is in 4th place with 42 points. He's actually, man, this guy is mighty quick, And funny enough, if anybody knows, Tifosi is actually what they call a Ferrari fan. Funny enough, he didn't get Ferrari this year, but you know what? Nonetheless, I'm a Tifosi of his.
There you go. All right, well, let's go take a look at our next one here, and this is our wild card driver in a car of all kinds of liveries, but he's wild card David Hendricks, 1983.
Yes, and I'm amazed you guys gave me this guy to commentate here real quick. In all the races I've been with, he is a very fast, very consistent dude. His livery, he's got Oakley, V-Power, and Viagra, so he's going to be some really stiff competition, and I can't wait to see how all that comes around.
And he's going to be quick to get up there.
All right, next car. All right. Next up,
and the next car is Trology.
Trology.
Yes, Trology.
Mercedes.
Yeah, so Trology is actually, you know what, Chris? I know he's your son, and you try not to give him too much love because it feels like it's favoritism. But this guy deserves a lot of credit. This guy he was basically Jesus Christ last year. He was hurting the whole crowd in the back. Now he's all the way up in. He's up in 9th place with 15 points, starting 7th. Let's see what he does this race. I expect him to be in the top 10 easily.
Nice, indeed. All right, next up, the Kitchuation on Team Williams, the number 50 car.
Yes, and that is going to be my teammate, and let me tell you, Kitch here he's a fast driver. He's learned a lot ever since he first joined the league a few months ago. He actually qualified ahead of me. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do in this race, and if Situation will resort to a form of desperation. And it's going to be interesting to see. Now, back to you, Presidio.
All right, next up is Night Kid, my teammate, in the Alfa Romeo number 77.
Yeah, Night Kid is actually 3rd in the championship at the moment. Man, this guy, he's a true racer. I mean, he's one of the few guys that goes from a controller to a wheel, and he's fast almost out the box. He's mighty quick. He's somebody who I enjoy racing against because I know that if he goes to make a move, I give him just enough space to make a move, and vice versa. He's going to be real fun to race against.
Indeed. All right, next up. And BWT, number 42, our champion, RWB, V. Francisco.
Yes, and he's not just a one-time champion. He's been champions of this series for the past 2 seasons. So it's kind of interesting to see him start towards the back here. I'm wondering if maybe it was more of a strategic move, especially with the first turn and how brutal that could be, especially in the rain. So it's going to be fun watching him race. Back to you there, Presidio.
All right. Next up, on the other Team Williams car, RWB Cupcake on the number 33 car.
And funny enough, Cupcake is actually behind me because in reality, this season he's been always ahead of me, and I've looked at him as a very close competitor. He's actually doing really well in the championship right now. He's second with the most points. He's the best of the rest, if you will, with 47 points in the championship. And this is gonna be a tough race for everybody, but I'm sure Cupcake's gonna still be up there.
Yeah, you bet. All right, next up in the, I won't even say it. I'll let Cupcake say it, but it's V Grasso and Team Ferrari.
Yes, rocking the number 88 Red Cow livery, sponsored by Coca-Cola. He's starting in the back here. I'm wondering if maybe this is his first rain race or not. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be fun seeing that Red Cow slide around on the track, and hopefully it doesn't trip over itself.
Yeah, it will. All right, next up is RWB Igorski and Team McLaren.
Yeah, Igorski, formerly known as Ian Higginbotham, is Brothers of Venom, and this guy's also been learning a lot. Expect him to be, don't expect him to be at the top, at the very, very top, but he's going to be fighting for mid-pack for sure. And every race he gets more and more experience. That's the great thing that I like about RWB is that you throw in all these mixes of people and you start to really see the level grow. And not just, it's not just the top guys getting faster. Everybody is getting faster.
Indeed. All right, next up, Apex Doctrine returning to Team AlphaTauri.
Yes, and he is rocking a very clean livery there. I know last race was kind of rough for him. That was his first race back into the series. And I expect, this is going to be a wake-up call for him. Especially, starting more towards the back, driving in the rain. He's going to have to pretty much knock all the rust off of his car, off of the helmet, and pretty much fight his way up.
Sorry, I thought that was a joke because we're racing at 6:50 in the morning, because it was definitely a wake-up call for me, tell you what.
Well, I was, just a little funny tidbit there, I was having a rave in my car, so...
All right, last but certainly not least, RWB Venom on Team Mercedes.
Yeah, and this guy is a multi-constructor champion winner. He has been my teammate. This year we decided to part ways because, it's not fair having two number one drivers on the same team. Venom here is going to be leading the charge for his team, and let's see how he does this race. He hasn't been doing too great. I don't think his crew chiefs have set up his car the way he wants, but let's see how it does this race and in the following one.
Yep, and I must add to that, he has paid half of the debt there to Williams, so he still owes me about $100 million.
Well, all right, guys, so here's a look from the back of the grid at all those 15 cars that are about ready to just haul the mail, and we're going to have a great race. So with that in mind, let me go ahead and get back out here and get ready to go here. All right, let's wait for the lights. And away we go.
Oh, Igorski got stuck on the line. I think he didn't get a very good start, but everybody else at the front looks like they got off nice and cleanly. Looks like Francisco is getting in between Night Kid and his father, Kituation. Let's see what happens here going into turn one. This is a tricky section. Ooh, a little bit of contact up ahead.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. Oh, little bit. Man, that was a lot of contact there between Francisco and David Hendricks.
Yeah, and up ahead, Presidio looks like he got just in the wrong spot and just spun Joey around. I'm sure he's going to give back that position a little bit later. And let's look at the battle here for second place from the fourth car from Venture Over. He's going to be chasing here David Hendricks, who in turn is also chasing Patriotic. And this is a great section where you can see the speed of these cars through these sections. Oh, it makes a great move on David Hendricks.
Yeah, he did. He was flying there. Sorry, I was quiet there for a second, just trying to get all my ducks in a row for the stream. I'm on board with Bent right now.
Well, I clearly do not have my ducks in a row there. I seem to have missed my cue, so I'm about a few seconds off.
It's okay. Ben is right behind Patriotic. He's definitely within his slipstream, so he should.
Oh, let's go to number 8, Presidio Dog. Let's watch this from the third person. Watch as he catches up to 7th place, which is in turn fighting for 5th.
All right, on board with Presidio. He's
really gaining on him. Look how high he put up his speed. He's doing some, I don't know what that is in miles per hour, but on mine it's a lot of numbers. 320 kilometers an hour for you non-imperialists.
It was 197 down that stretch.
Situation getting pushed wide. Alright, so at the moment we got Turbo in first, Bent in second, Patriotic third, fourth David Hendricks, fifth Francisco. Situation not too far behind, and Night Kid right in there, looking to battle. Presidio is in eighth, we got Trology ninth, V Grosso is fighting for Trology. I think he's going to actually make a move in here in 10th place, fighting for ninth. Obviously everybody is on a purple lap, so he probably should be quiet. Cupcake is now joining the battle in 11th place. Let's see what he does here. I'm confident he's going to put a move soon.
Well, watching Cupcake, he's got Grasso in front of him. He's got Joey Canoli behind him, his teammate from last season. Oh, there's a.
Oh no! And it looks like Turbo's engine blew. That's unfortunate retirement. You know, you never want to see that, but it was nice of him to pull off the side. You definitely don't want to put oil in the middle of the track on the racing line.
Definitely not. Now Cupcake is making a move inside of Grasso and trying to make a move. It's hard to see with all that water in the air. Did he get past Trology? I think he did. Yep.
Yeah, he did, and now his next victim, if you will, is V Grosso, who is in turn fighting Presidio. Presidio is taking a defensive line, forces him to go around the outside, and he's going to tuck in right behind him to save a little bit of fuel. Wow, Trology just blitzed right by Cupcake.
Blasted past it. He hit that NOS button, he was gone.
It looked like he picked up 4 places in one straight.
Now let's see how he handles the corner.
Unbelievable.
Little outside, Cupcake's inside, Presidio's inside. Everyone's keeping it together. Trollody's right there,
Yep.
Gets past Presidio. Look at that. I have to have a talk with him about that.
Yeah, and I hate to interrupt here. It looks like we got a battle here between 4th and 6th. And that's going to be between Patriotic, Night Kid, and Mr. Tabasco.
Yeah, it's, as you say, Tabasco. I was actually hot on the sauce there, but making sure to keep up because these guys are quick. Looks like Night Kid is starting to pull away. Patriot gets into the wall and decides to go on the inside.
Yep. And looking here, looks like V Grasso is going after Patriotic. He is fighting tooth and nail to get 6th place.
Let's watch from Trology's third person. That's a great view, by the way.
Oh, that is a good view. Oh yeah, yeah, beautiful.
He's got Cupcake right on his heels. Oh, who was that?
Yeah, notice how. Yeah, it was Francisco. Notice how everybody's tiptoeing around these corners. A little bit of too much throttle, and the car, as you saw, Francisco, just gets a little bit too sideways, and you lose all drive down the straight. It really compounds in the end. As you can see, Trology gaining on me. And obviously, I'm going to go take a defensive line right now. I'm just going to let him right by me. Move over to the side. There you go. And tuck right back in.
Nice. And I'm looking on board. I'm on board with Grasso, and he's just riding along, lifting the throttle, just hanging back behind Cupcake, not trying to put a move on him like he's trying to save some fuel. Good
And oh, he gets hit.
Oh, he
Oh
does.
no!
Joey
Yeah.
Canoli gets into him. So I'm back on looking for Presidio Dog's third person. All he sees is a big long line of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars straight in front of him. All
Essentially,
in
we've got a bunch of ducks playing in the rain, all in a row.
Yep. Oh,
Yes,
Joey
and
comes a
oh,
little
Presidio. Yeah, Presidio gives Joey a little bit of a love tap there.
wide, which actually
nothing to
helped
worry
him
about
out. It
just
got him
yet.
around
Oh.
Grasso.
It did. It did.
Yeah, let's jump up to seventh place Cupcake. He just made two beautiful moves here. One on Patriotic, and he's just making another one now on Trilogy.
Yeah,
Great move.
Trology's not giving up though. He's right there in the slipstream, wiping all the water off of his mask, off his face shield there.
I gotta tell you, this track is so fast paced that there's so many battles going on. It's so hard to keep track of it, even with three of us.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know what? We should try to get a little bit of love for our first place guy, who's David Hendricks, is just running up the front there. Unfortunately, like as always in replays, we don't have the time gaps, which actually I can.
We did
Actually,
not.
I do.
But let's put it into
Time gap is
puns
2
here.
seconds. Go on.
He's got a very long lead ahead of Kitchuation, but a very hard race ahead. But he is easily dominating the competition here at the moment. But I mean, Kitchuation, he's not holding back. He wants that first place spot. Gets a little bit wide.
He's
Looks
only
like
2 seconds back from the leader.
He is. He's about 2 seconds back. I thought Bent was gonna pass Kitchuation there for second, but looks like Kitch slammed the door and then some.
Looks like we got another battle going on in 10th place with Presidio. It looks like on the timing screen, everybody's here within a second between Trology all the way down to Presidio.
So let's take a look here. What do we got going on? We have got a conga line of Super Formula vehicles.
Patriotic has got himself in a pickle. He's got 2 cars behind him, 1 car in front of him, one small mistake, and he's just, it's going to be the end of it for him. I mean, that's
I would just like to take. I'd just like to take this time as everybody's chumping and changing for locations here to mention that this race is most likely going to be a 2 or a 1-stop pit strategy. If it's a 2-stop pit strategy, we're going to see drivers probably going around the 9 to 11 lap mark, and then again around the 19, 18 to 20 mark. And if it's a 1-stop, which didn't seem possible and is going to be pretty hard to do, they're probably going to be going in around the 14 to 16 lap mark.
Yep. They're all at about nearly half a tank of fuel now already at lap 5 into lap 6.
And I know we haven't mentioned it, but the 2 tires that were,
I bet
Oh,
gets
no.
into the back of Night Kid.
Ooh.
Almost turned him. And Cupcake takes advantage and gets around him into 4th place.
And here comes Francisco trying to get through both of them, giving Cupcake a little bit of a nudge so he can get on forward. And now Cupcake just takes that and says, "Thank you, ma'am," and takes off.
Yeah.
I'd like to note that everybody has chosen to use the intermediate tires. This is a wet race, obviously, as you can see, but if you were in the tunnel, you'd have no idea. It's a wet race. The intermediates do seem to be the faster tire around this track. I know, all week people were on the wet tires. Initially, to learn the track, yes, they were faster, but the intermediates are always faster in this sort of weather.
Now, if it was raining or if it was pouring, I think the wets would have maybe came in better use. But this is kind of a light drizzle setting. It's not sitting there raining cats and dogs. There's a nice mist, a nice drizzle.
Yeah, it's not. And, as you say that, I think as the cars start to go by, We might see, I don't know, but we might see a dry line form, and some teams might decide to go back onto the dry tires, thinking that it's faster. Let's see what happens. And where are you at, Chris?
And Joey can only follow us in 3
Whoa,
wide.
3 wide. 3 wide down the straight.
Oh, this can't be good.
What's gonna happen?
There's 4
I
cars
don't even
in
want to
the
watch.
turn. Everyone stay together.
Yeah.
One went to 2, which went to 3, and now there's 4 people here in this battle.
Whoa, and what happened to Cupcake?
Oh no!
Spun.
Oh, that kink! I tell you right now, that, turn 1 is definitely one of the best places to pass. But that next turn, turn 2, which is in the dry, is nobody even thinks about it. You can do that corner in your eyes closed. But in the wet, let me tell you, under full acceleration, second and third gear, that car is very easy to spin around.
Yes, indeed.
And it is, and just a little tidbit. I mean, that turn, you've almost got to go wide going into the first turn. That way, you've got a straight line set to where you don't have to focus so much on turning the vehicle and trying to shift.
Yeah, that's right, because you want to keep the steering wheel as straight as possible, get as much power down, because you really are just spinning the tires until they find grip. And if you do start to turn the steering wheel, well, we see what happened to Cupcake, unfortunately. And he's not the last, nor the first.
And you're coming into the straight, we've got 11, 10, 9, 8. We've got like from 11th to 6th place all lined up in a row.
Yeah, so at the moment we have David Hendrickson first. We got Kitchuation 3 seconds back. Night Kid is 2 seconds back from the leader. Let's go up to Night Kid over here and check out what he's doing. He's obviously had a great race. He started in 9th place. He's now in 3rd. And Kitchuation also. Kitchuation, I believe, was in 8th or 7th place, is now in 2nd. So these guys are having really good races together. Francisco is 1 second back from Night Kid. Bent is on Vasco's tail in his slipstream. Patriotic also in the mix there. And you got Presidio, yeah, like you said, you got another, basically an entire line of 7 people. Charlie 9th, Cupcake 10th, V 7th, Igorski 12th, Venom 13th, and Apex
I think Vinny Grasso went around in turn 1. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like he did, unfortunately.
Dang it. That turn, I'm telling you.
Yeah, let's go up to Cupcake. It looks like he's trying to make another move here on Trology. And there's a great battle, actually. Presidio is behind Joey and Patriotic in that 8th place.
And
just really shows how
now
fast
past Trology for 9th.
Nice.
Yep, and up ahead, Francisco's put a move onto Night Kid for 3rd place. And he's going to have trouble trying to hold that off because it unfortunately was at the last corner. And as you guys see, it's really tough. If you do get in front, you need at least a second and a half back because a slipstream gives you easily half a second, and you can make it to the line before him if you do get in that slipstream.
Night Kid is running 197 miles an hour in that slipstream. Is he going to pull out? Nope. He's going to give a little love tap and help get some more distance.
No, and it's kind of smart of him too, because if he had gone out there, then Francisco would have just got the slipstream and just got him to turn 1 again. So that was very smart of him to kind of do the bump draft up and then wait for the very last second to try and pull out. But I think right now what he's trying to do is trying to size him up, trying to see how does Francisco approach turn 1 and see how he can adapt. And it's very smart. Like I said, this guy's a true racer. He's not just, he doesn't have the blinders on and just looking straight ahead and going. No, he's meticulous. He's calculated.
Yep. Now I'm gonna jump up here to where is that? No, Cupcake is running by himself. I'm trying to find any other battles we have going on. There's a lot of cars kind of spread out now. I do see. Looks like maybe around P5.
Yeah, the closest battles at the moment seem to be Presidio in 7th behind Joey, in sixth. Also, Night Kid is behind Francisco, so it looks like he might make a move into turn one.
Makes a big run.
Yeah,
on
just
Canoli.
huge run. Got very lucky going into that corner.
Yeah, luckily we caught that on the timing screens just before.
Yeah, I think Canoli just lost it in the corner somehow and just was going way
now.
out of the line. Who knows?
And now something I do want to point out here. I'm watching the battle between third and fourth between Francisco and Night Kid. And what I was saying about the best opportunity to pass would be the front stretch. This is a prime example. Night Kid has clearly got the draft on Francisco. He's carrying more speed throughout the straight. He's playing it safe though by just giving Francisco a little bit of a bump draft. But as we've seen with Trology had his transmission set to a T, to where he could blast past people. I was looking at his stats there. He was doing every bit 200 miles an hour down the straight.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and the thing is, it looks like Francisco is just not really fighting him. He's, it's like if you want to bump draft, but if you want to take the inside, take it. I'm not going to fight you. We're trying to catch the first place guy here, so there's no point, 10 laps into the race, 20 to go, to be fighting too much. Night Kid wants to be on the top step of the podium. Francisco obviously does too, so they're on the same wavelength. They're going to help each other get faster, but they're not going to back each other into corners or anything like that, because that just doesn't help either of them in the long run.
Right, and that would just be foolish here, Like we were saying in this track, one mistake will ruin a race.
Yeah, and getting super defensive is just causing a mistake. You can get super defensive, and all of a sudden you go way too deep into the brakes, and your race is over. We do have light damage, but nonetheless, damage is on. And just taking a look here at the timing screens, it looks like David Hendricks just put in the best Sector 2 time of the race. It's purple. He did 18 seconds. It took him to complete Sector 2, which is mighty fast. Looks like everybody is pretty spread out here at the moment. There's a gap. Looks like Apex and Igor, 13th and 12th, are very close together right now. Let's go back to 13th place and watch that race unfold. Oh, we got Cupcake in the pits. He's on intermediates. You can keep the camera on that bat, and I'll let you know if he switched tires or not. Yeah, he decides to go with fresh tires, full tank of fuel.
Yes, and right now it looks to me like that gap has widened quite a bit. I don't know if Venom maybe made a mistake, but Apex has walked away and he is hunting down Igorski.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I did hear though that some drivers actually were practicing this track in reverse. I'm afraid maybe Venom was also one of them. I know Cupcake, you were one of those.
It's
unfortunate.
You had to remind me. You had to remind me.
Cupcake closed the highway. But then he realized, wait, we're in Japan, not in North America, and he was racing on the wrong side of the road, unfortunately. So all these corners for him backwards.
And fun fact, I got pulled over for speeding here too. Apparently they go by this thing called kilometers per hour and not bald eagles per apple pie or whatever a unit is here in America.
I think what we need to do really quick is let's just run down the order car by car. Let everybody see who's out front in their pretty cars. So taking a look here at David Hendricks.
And while you do that, I'll just go through the pit strategies. Kituish is going into the pits for intermediate tires. He's getting fresh intermediate tires and a full tank of fuel, it looks like. Sorry, Chris.
Okay. P2 is going to be yourself. BWT and P2 coming out of turn, I hope turn 1.
2? It's turn 2.
Yeah.
The kink is 2. And then there's Night Kid in third place, closely followed by a gaggle of cars, 4th, 5th, 6th, and probably 7th. And it looks like these guys are all going to be going into the pits very shortly. So the next few guys have committed to a 2-stop strategy. It is lap 2. It's a little too early to do a 1-stop, considering that they're using up a full tank in 12 laps. So we have Joey in 4th place. Bent is in 5th. He's kind of scraping the walls here and there. I mean, he has the speed, but he needs to tidy up the lines a little bit if he wants to stay up with the front guys. Presidio in 6th place. He's starting to catch up. You're a fast driver. You're also a little meticulous. You're biding your time. And looks like you've been saving a little bit more fuel. So you're probably not going to go, probably looks like you're going to try to go for a 1-stop at the moment as it goes. V. Grasso in 7th place. He's probably going to be going to the pit. Oh, and David Hendricks goes into the pit with fumes. So yeah, Francisco takes the lead. And so V. Grasso looks like he might go into the pits now. No, he's staying to the right.
And so is Patriotic. He's going to stay out. He's got another lap or so in there.
Yeah, so we have Joey in the pits. Oh, and David Hendricks, funny enough, he actually went into the pits. He didn't get tires. He got just fuels. Yeah, it's interesting, but it doesn't surprise me because these tires actually work better when they're a little worn. Funny enough.
Yep, when I went into the pits, I took fuel only. I left the tires on.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet, do we? Good job, Chris. Spoiler alert.
Alright, so going down the order here, we've got Kitchuation has moved up into 7th place. Joey Cannoli looked like he had just pitted. He's now in 8th. Trology's 9th. Looks like he's pitted here recently. Didn't take much fuel. Looks like he didn't take tires either. Bent just went into the pits. We got Cupcake running 11th. Apex and Venom are both in the pits. Igorski in 14th. Looking to pass.
Yeah, it looks like he filled up last lap. Sorry, Cupcake.
He did. Oh, you're good. Yeah, so he has now passed Apex and Venom for 12th.
So Francisco, by the looks of his fuel and tire situation, it looks like he's committed to clearly committed to a 1-stop because he is completely over to the right. 13th lap in. If he was going for a 2-stop, now would be the window. Night Kid going into the pits. He might have used a lot more fuel than he was expecting trying to chase Francisco. And Presidio Dog also in the pits, and as we know, he's only getting fuel, no tires.
I don't know if Night Kid.
And David Hendricks with that aggressive move, going into the 3rd place now.
Yeah, Kitchuation. That was a move on Kitchuation, right?
That was a move on Kitchuation and I believe Grasso.
Yeah, it looks like Alfa Romeo are both on the same pit strategy. They're just getting fuel. They're taking advantage of the fact that the worn tires, they do give them more corner speeds. Now, getting out of the corners like this, Night Kid he has to really tiptoe. The traction control, the differential, it's all doing so much work. But once he gets into these fast corners coming up in here at turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, he can carry a lot more corner speed. Let's see if he's going to be able to carry these tires to the end or if he's going to have to switch on his next pit stop. Where are you at, Cupcake? I mean, Presidio?
I'm watching Night Kid. Zipping around here.
Okay, well,
while
there's a
you're
battle
watching
going
Night
on.
Kid, I was getting ready to say there's a battle here between 6th and 7th.
Yeah, I was actually right. We're both on the same wavelength right here. Joey is really putting pressure.
Never mind. Trology comes out of nowhere, passes Cannoli for 7th.
Wow. That was crazy.
Out of nowhere.
I was watching Joey and he just zoomed right by.
Oh, he kisses the wall. Joey closes up a little bit and then kisses the wall. Now, all 3 of these cars should all be in slipstream with each other. Joey's just might be a hair out of it, but
unfortunately, who's not in the slipstream is Cupcake, who's 5 seconds back at the moment. He's really trying to chase these guys down, though.
Astrology's going to pass his dad again, and there he goes. And Presidio just tucks right in behind him. Says, I'll save that fuel, thank you very much.
Yep.
And Astrology goes for defensive line.
And while they're weaving and dodging, Joey's just like, "Thank you very much. You guys are going to leave the inside line open for me, and I'll try and take it."
Yep, and he might be able to. I can't quite get those wheels to stick.
No.
And
he
Joey!
No!
Joey, I'm
that's
sorry we were watching you, man.
It was a great save, though. We have to say, he didn't lose too much.
That was a good save. But man, I don't think he'd have spun out if we didn't give him much more love. I mean, this dude always says, "I never get any attention or any kind of love," and you know we neglected you, Joey, and we're sorry.
No, there's been no neglect. And who's that? Oh, Patriotic.
Oh, Patriot.
And it looks like he's also on the one-step strategy because he is on fumes at the moment. Francisco's going into the pits at the moment for fresh, or probably fresh tires and full tank of fuel. Patriotic,
There go the tires.
Patriotic is about 18 seconds back. So Francisco should come out in the lead in front of him easily. But is he going to come ahead of David Hendricks? Let's go to David Hendricks and see what happens. Or let's go to Situation in fourth.
Alright, so Patriotic does get tires.
And Francisco's out, and David Hendricks just passes him. Situation is on the tail of Francisco, going up the hill, using the slipstream. He jumps into the pit lane, which is legal because there is nobody else there. And he uses that draft going into turn one.
Wow, caught right up in there, into third place. Nice.
Yeah, Situation's having a great race right now. I mean, anybody who's really started like in the 8th and back, and they're up. He's up here in third place, so he's really been pacing his times. If you look at his times, he's been putting in consistent 46s all throughout the board. A couple 47s here. He has a 208, but I think that was his pit stop. To be completely frank with you, yeah, 208. That's a pit stop time. And Presidio Dog is now in fourth with Trology coming behind him.
Let's take a look here. Behind Trology, watch him.
Yep, and while you guys are watching Trology here, I'm looking at a battle starting to develop between position 8 and 9. And that would be between Bent and Night Kid.
Let's go take a look at that.
They got a little bit of a gap between each other, but I think it's going to close here fairly soon. Yeah,
Night Kid's in the slipstream, so Night Kid's been amazing all night long in these last two corners.
Ouch. But look, these
and
two
as I said that,
we're going to catch Cupcake, and who's that in ahead of Cupcake? In 6.
That would be my former teammate,
Joey.
Oh, right.
Joey, Mr. Cannoli. Yeah, he's mine now.
So Night Kid should be within slipstream. He's gonna reel in Bent. Bent's reeling in you guys. Just outside of each other's slipstreams, barely.
So I'm gonna read down the order as you keep the cameras where you are. So Dave is in first place. 2.5 seconds ahead of Francisco. Francisco, 2 seconds ahead of Situation. Then there's Presidio Dog. Trology in 5th. Joey 6th. 7th is Cupcake. 2 seconds back from Cupcake is Benchu. Night Kid is less than a second behind Bent in 9th. 10th is Patriotic. 39 seconds back. 3 seconds. Sorry, the timing screen was a little funky there. 3 seconds back from Night. V Grosso in 11th, 12th is Igor, 13th Venom, and 14th Apex Doctrine.
I was getting a little excited watching Night Kid here because he purpled the first sector, and I thought, I wonder if he's got what it takes to set fastest lap. But then he went to best time on the next sector, so he is running his best lap yet.
Bent You Over is actually running his best times at the moment. Sector 2 and Sector 3 have been his personal best. They're both green on the timing screen at the moment. Let's see if he can get this Sector 4 right.
Now he's got the draft off of Cupcake and Joey Cannoli, so he should be able to pick up the speed. And Knight as well.
Yep, and another green time of 22 seconds for Sector 4 for Bent You Over. And here he goes, about to cross the line.
Yep, his best run.
At personal best of a minute 45.6.
Yep,
That's a great time.
I think Night Kid got the same thing. I think he was in the slipstream and got his best time through there too. Oh,
yeah, it was
what's
actually
going on here? Joey Cannoli is trying to make a move on Cupcake. He's right there. He's just waiting for Cupcake.
Yeah, but Cupcake did an amazing job of defending there. See how he did not leave room on the inside. He basically said, if you're going to get around me, you're going to have to go around the outside. And Joey just tucked in behind him and just followed him through.
Yep. These corners right here, that S coming out of there with the high walls, that's a funky girl right there. You gotta hit that one just right, and you can almost just keep your pedal on the floor through the whole thing. But but one false
looks
move.
And you're done. But it looked like Cupcake is perfected those S's.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, it takes place. Beautifully done. And Presidio Dog in 4th place is right on the heels of Kitchuation at the moment. Kitchuation got a great drive, but Presidio's still in the slipstream. So even though Kitchuation is pulling away slightly in 3rd place, Presidio, so long as he stays in the slipstream, he might have a chance into turn 1.
Well, let's see what Presidio does about this here.
Yeah. He's getting mighty close. Yeah, I definitely foresee a move coming in. He's either going to give him a bump draft or he's going to pull out right at this moment.
Oh, let's see if
beautifully done.
Looking from Kitchuation's point of view.
Yeah,
he's got the inside. Presidio
he gives him the run. And a great move by Presidio. He took it safe, stayed on the outside. He didn't close the door like how most people would. Knowing that, just a little bit of touch, a little bit of mismanagement of the braking zone, and they both would have been spun.
Yep.
So great decision there.
Whew, we still have like 21 laps left, 22 laps left in this race.
Well, you sir, you need to check yourself, It's 11 laps.
It might feel like it.
Sorry. Hey,
we're 19 in, 11 out.
Oh, look at this Kitchuation is all over Presidio's business. He is.
Presidio's doing a serpentine over here.
And it sounds like somebody's about to get sued.
That is a Cupcake trademark.
But look at that, Presidio's starting to pull away.
I do the swerventine. That's what I do.
So that's like the generic brand. So that's like the great value of serpentine.
And here comes
but here comes Kitchuation.
Yep.
Ooh, a little bit of a bump trap there to Presidio.
I think he's looking to work with him to kind of help get caught up to the front of the pack. He doesn't have like he's trying to pass. He's tucking right in there.
Yeah, and he's just backing off the throttle. It looks like.
Presidio defends the inside. Now I'm watching this battle because this is Kitchuation. This is the closest one I can see happening. So if you guys see something else going on, let me know. We'll get that camera over there.
Well, I'm seeing a battle here. Looks like. Oh, never mind. I thought we had a battle going on there between Bent and Joey Cannoli, but looked like the gap has widened quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like there's an even gap between Cupcake, Joey, and Bent You Over at about a second each between. Looking at the timing screens, the closest people on track at the moment are Kitchuation and Presidio. Kitchuation in 4th place. That is the closest battles we got. Under a second gap between Kitchen and Presidio. After that, the next closest battle would be that battle we are talking about bench you over, Joey, and
What is
Cupcake.
that? Oh, is that Apex? Okay, I was gonna say, Presidio and Kitchuation just came up on a car real quick and had to navigate that lap traffic.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. He saw the blue flags up and he pulled over to the side and let the two battling racers go on. See, that's actually what you need to do. It's unfortunate when you do happen to get blue flag, but if you see there are two guys coming in, you just have to lift, let them through, and then get back to your race. Nobody likes seeing a lapped marker or a backed car getting in the way of a battle on the lead lap.
Now, looking from the view of Presidio Dog and Kitchuation, they can see the two lead cars right in front of them.
Oh, which are actually battling. Francisco's right on the tail of David Hendricks. If you take a look at this, it looks like Francisco is actually bump drafting David. I think he can sense that Presidio has the pace to win. And at the moment, he's using David Hendricks to push and use that slipstream to inch further and further away.
What's the gap between Presidio and Francisco? Between me and you,
is at
brother?
Looks
two
to be
seconds.
about a 2 to 3 second gap.
It's 2.5 seconds according to the time screen.
Oh,
Vasco's
yep,
making the move.
Vasco's
They're
gonna
side
make
by
it.
side.
What's he gonna do? Oh, backs off. Does
Yeah.
not want to cause a wreck.
Yeah, that was not. I was on the inside line. That would have made the corner way too acute, and I would have had to. Basically, I would have smashed right into him. So I backed off, but I think he tried to back off too, because there was this moment of uncertainty in both of the drivers. They were both off throttle into that corner.
Whoa, Vasco's getting
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now his rear view mirror is full of two more cars that weren't there 10 seconds ago. So it is on like Donkey Kong. The boys are coming.
Yeah,
from third
and now we
quarter.
got a battle here between Cupcake and Trology for 9th position.
Oh yeah, look at that. Cupcake's right there. Brakes early so he doesn't hit him. Trology into the wall. Cupcake is right there. Go inside.
Goes to the inside.
Look at that move. Way to stick it in there, man.
Great move, unbelievable. But we know Trology has the top end, so let's see if he can hold on to this.
Now both
But
of
up
them
at the
have
top-
full tanks of gas and new tires, so they're both poised to go
Yep.
over to the end. Look at
Yeah, and
this
up,
side by
up, we're gonna have a lead change up here at the top. Looks like Francisco is fed up with staying behind David Hendricks, and he's going to go for a move. Oh, and David just defends it. Just defended it, unfortunately. Let's see if he's going to stick behind him for too much longer.
I'm gonna go
Meanwhile,
check back that Trology Cupcake thing. Cupcake
yeah,
and
that's a great
Trology,
battle going on.
They have traded spots like 6 times. Oh, careful! Ah, that's close. I'm on board with Trology. Watch him, he's right on Cupcake's tail. Is he gonna trying to go inside? No.
He
A little
thinks
wide.
twice about it.
Oh, in the wall. Oh,
Oh,
that just
just
let
touches
Cupcake
the wall.
slip away.
Yeah, and loses all that drive, unfortunately.
He'll be back.
And now Francisco's going to go for attempt number 2. He's finally in the slipstream again. Let's see if he gets right by him. We got Presidio Dog in third place. Sorry, Kitchuation is he's content in where he is at the moment. He's kind of just staying back, staying in the slipstream, not causing any trouble.
Oh no, you're just gonna bump draft.
It's still too early for the move. A little too early in my
You're
eyes.
just gonna hit
I
him
would
hard in the
have.
rear end there. I see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to read what's that on his wing, obviously. I pull up to the inside line and
Makes the move.
cover the inside, makes the move, and he's getting
Yes.
tired. He's like, you know what? You're starting to hold me up. It's time to pull away.
Well, also, if you look at the tire, you have fresh tires. His tires are shot. His rear tires
Yeah,
have
he-
nothing left on him. He doesn't have the out. He doesn't have the grip.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Yeah,
the downfall now of the worn tires, is that now on the exits, see the corner speeds, he can still hold the speeds, but it's on the exits of the corners where he can't put the power down to the track.
Yep.
No,
So
yeah, and that's gonna.
in now.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Followed
sorry.
by Kitchuation. Oh no, you're good. Going through here.
Now Presidio hasn't. He still has to pit again because he's only got about a quarter tank of fuel, and his tires are worn out as well. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yep. And while you guys are watching that, I'll be watching a battle here between 7th and 8th. That's between Patriotic and Night Kid. I am in Night Kid's view right now. Patriotic is just ahead.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Let me get to 8th place here with Night Kid. I'm on board with Night Kid.
Alright. Yep, I'm on board with Night Kid here. What's he gonna do? Oh, gets into a little bit of contact there between Patriotic. Does not send him into the wall, which is good.
Yeah, it was nothing malicious. It's just unfortunate under the braking. It took him. He got a little bit further than he was expecting. He's hard on the overtake now. He realizes he made a mistake. He was hoping to make that move into that turn, but he wasn't close enough, unfortunately. So now he's going to see if he's probably going to bump draft him up the hill, and then probably make a move up into turn 1. Venture over and Kitchuation go into the pit. And it looks like Kitchuation decided to go into super soft. I think his team thinks it is now dry enough for super soft tires. This is one of those moves where you're a hero or unfortunately a loser, because you could be the genius who thinks, you know what, it's now perfect for the soft tires, and then everybody is forced to follow suit, or it's just not quite that time, and it doesn't look like it. It doesn't have the drive in 7th place. Oh, that's unfortunate to see. I think that crew chief made the wrong error for the super softs too early.
Well, Night Kid's got David Hendricks all over the back of him, and David Hendricks got some fresh new tires coming out of the pit, so he is making his moves. Oh, he is all over Night Kid. I still am amazed that this guy,
don't say it. Don't say
instead of having
it.
a steering wheel in his car, he's just got buttons. He drives his car with buttons instead of.
Yeah, he is driving on a controller. Actually, funny enough, we have 3 types of controller users here. We have Trology, who is in 10th place using a controller, but he's using the steering motion, the 6-axis. So he drives it like a steering wheel. Then we have Francisco in 1st place, who uses the joystick and the trigger, and David Hendricks here, who's been pretty much the leader for the majority of the race, who is using the D-pad left and right, and the square and X button. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. It just goes to show that there's so many forms of racing that are all competitive. That's a great thing about Gran Turismo, is that you can use any platform, any controller style, whether it be wheel or controller, and you can be competitive.
Oh, Night Kid is, or Presidio Dog is trying to make a move on Patriotic for 2nd place. Right behind him is David Hendricks. So we have a 3-way battle.
Yeah, for third place, Chris. 3rd place, you mean. Night Kid on Patriotic.
Yes,
Presidio is in 2nd.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Hey, it's a red and white alpha car.
Yeah. They are beautiful liveries.
David Hendricks is just right there, just waiting for Night Kid to make a mistake. Let's see if he does. Oh man, he is all over him in these S's. Oh, they both kissed.
Oh, a lot of fireworks going on tonight on Tokyo Expressway.
BBS can probably go down this track, scrape all the metal off the edges, and make a whole new wheel with it.
That's funny. It's so true.
Alright, so Hendricks, he still looks like he's in the slipstream. He's got all of his overtake left. So
yeah, this looks like to be the closest battle according to the timing screens at the moment.
In the pits. So
Is he gonna? And this time he goes in for. Yes, this time he does go in for tires and fuel. He actually is behind the 13th place driver, which is Venom, who also went into the pits. But yeah, he came clear of the third and fourth guys. He's finally getting into turn one, and the third and fourth are just approaching turn one now. But the closest battle at the moment is the battle for third between David Hendricks, Nightkid, and Patriotic. This is a great race. We all came into this race. We were all biting our nails.
Contact between Joey and Bent. Sorry to interrupt there. Joey had got into Bent and has spun out.
Oh no.
So that's going to drop Joey Cannoli into 7th. And Cupcakes will be catching up to him in 8th. Bent, though, has clearly gained the upper hand there and is running in 6th place. And back to you guys. Sorry about the interruption there. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it looks like Situation's been called into the pits. Unfortunately, his crew has decided, you know what, it's time to retire the car. You put in a valiant effort on the Super Softs. That was our mistake. And that's the end of his race. It's unfortunate because he was battling for second, third place all race. And that unfortunate call going on to the Super Softs a little early before the track was dry really did cost him. It is unfortunate because this was his podium chance in my eyes.
Now, Francisco just went into the pits. Got Presidio.
He went in for one lap of fuel.
Yep. Patriotic, Nightkid, and David Hendricks are dealing with some lap traffic. But they're all in a slipstream one by one. And Presidio's inside of...
While that happened, Nightkid actually made a move on David Hendricks. Or, sorry, no, it was a lapped vehicle. Sorry about that.
Oh wow, that's a lot of bumping through that corner.
And that's the tap, tap, tap of the D-pad.
Yep.
And now we've got another battle here between 7th and 8th. That would be Cannoli and Cupcake again.
In the meantime, let's jump to 12th position Venom. He hasn't had a great race, but I mean he's been showing some good pace. I think unfortunately he's probably collected the wall a couple times, and that's really kind of ruined his race because this is one of those races where you have to be on point. Now he's following David Hendricks in 5th, and he's starting to see how it is that he's taking these corners. This guy is a fast racer. There's no doubt about that. It's unfortunate that in the rain, this rain mix, and what is this? Is it a McLaren? No,
Mercedes.
It's a Mercedes. Sorry, the Mercedes this year is just not looking as strong at the moment. But I know I'm confident that in the next half of the championship, he will be up there. I mean, we can't all be in 3rd and 4th and 5th position. All these guys here are mighty quick. As you can see, the gap on the mini map. Had this been one or two... Oh, no!
Venom.
I think what happened... Yeah, that was unfortunate. See, what happened... That was actually the computer's fault and not Situation. Situation wanted to exit the race, but in order to do that, he had to go onto track. And when he then pressed the start, the computer decided to jump into the middle of the track and not follow the pit lane rules. So that was unfortunate to Venom. Venom collected that, but that was not Situation's fault. That is the computer, the way it's programmed. It does not follow the rules, unfortunately.
Now Nightkid is still up there trying to battle for that 3rd spot. The David Hendricks has disappeared from their view. So
yeah, I think those fresh tires. I think the fresh tires are. They don't have as much grip as he has been used to for the past 20 or so laps. So he's kind of been hitting the wall here and there, scrubbing off speed, as he does there. But Nightkid, is nice and close to Patriotic. And is it going to be this turn?
Nice and close.
He's going to jump to the inside. Oh. I think he was gonna make that move, but he accidentally touched him on the way to
He's
pulling
gonna
out of
have
that.
him here. He's right there. Now, we'll see what his gearing is set for, but he should be able to tuck right up to him and maybe make a move for third position.
Yeah, so we just started the penultimate lap, folks. So we got Francisco in first place, 7 seconds ahead of Presidio. Presidio is about 8 seconds ahead of Patriotic. Patriotic half a second, as you see in the battle going on, or less than that, of Night Kid. Night Kid probably bump drafting. I can't tell because I'm on the timing screen.
He's cruising in there because looking at his fuel gauge, he doesn't have a lot left. He's got enough for.
So he is managing to the end of the race. Yeah, okay. David is in 5th place with 5 seconds back from that battle that we're watching. Bent is 4 seconds back of David. Joey, 2 seconds back of Bent. Cupcake actually real close to there. So after we watch that Night Kid battle, maybe we want to go to 8th place to Cupcake. Trology in 9th place, 3.5 seconds behind Cupcake. V Grosso 30. My timing screen says 33 seconds. I'm not sure if that's right, but it looks like 33 seconds behind Trology. Venom is actually real close to V Grosso. If we want to jump to that battle real quick.
What position there?
14th place. Oh, never mind.
Ooh.
Sorry, it is. No, it is 12th place.
It's 11th and 12th. Ooh,
yeah,
Venom and Igor gets into the wall.
Oh no!
Bent spins out.
Oh, that's the danger of the blue flaggers. See, he was getting overtaken, so he tried to move over, but he didn't realize Venom was there, who was actually battling him for position. And it's really a tricky call. It was not Venom's fault, or Igor's fault, I should say, or Venom's. But unfortunately, they just all collected at the bottleneck of that corner. It was very unfortunate.
Yeah. Let's see, what is the gap from Trology to Cupcake?
The gap from Trology to Cupcake is 4 seconds, and Cupcake is less than a second away from Joey in 6th.
Oh yeah, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, I got the live timing screens here up for us all. So
Well,
if there's any doubts or
Cupcake's
questions.
point of view here in Chase Cam to see if he can make anything happen here.
Well, according to the timer screens, it seems like Cupcake is inside of Joey's car.
Well, if you saw it, I saw it. They certainly look like it. Cupcake going around the outside. Does he have the momentum? He does.
So this is the final lap. Final lap, folks.
Yeah.
And then we got some mighty battles here.
We'll call him out. Boys,
so yeah.
Find him.
Yeah, let's go to 4th place. Watch Night Kid on Patriotic here. They got a great battle going on. They both have the same. Night Kid's got less fuel than Patriotic, but they're both quick drivers. They're going to be using all their defensive tactics, and in Night Kid's point of view, all his offensive tactics to try to get by. Let's see what happens here. Let's watch this to the end and see what happens, and then we will jump over to another position in a sec. So here we're coming into the second last turn. Night Kid's a little far back. He goes inside, but just doesn't make it.
Got to get right on his rear end. He's close. A little overtake.
He has barely any overtake left. Oh, and Tafosia saved all his overtake. It's basically over. So it's going to be Francisco first through the line. Presidio is going to be second. Patriotic third. Night Kid fourth. Let's jump to 7th place. Let's jump to 7th place. Looks like Cupcake is trying to get by Joey. Oh, he also ran out of overtake. Joey is hard on the overtake. Not going to let him through. And this is going to be one of the closest finishes.
Can't do it.
No, just too far. So 6th place, Joey. David Hendricks came 5th. 7th, Cupcake. Then Trology 8th. Bench you over in 9th. Who has Venom ahead of him? So it looks like Igorski has crossed the line as well in 11th place. Then it's yep. So Venom 12th. Bench over 9th. V Grosso is in 10th. And yep, V Grosso now 10th place, and the last place, let's go to 14th place, which is Apex. And man, this guy's come back to the league. Everybody has gone so fast. He's gonna need a couple free practices just to kind of get the cobwebs. This was not a great race. It's in the rain. It's so hard to show what you got, in the rain. But this is a great effort.
What a race that was! Whew.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable. I hope you guys really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Please like please like the streams and give it a like. Subscribe to our Facebook channel, our YouTube channel, RWB Racing. Like us on Facebook, and if you like this stuff, leave some comments. Let us know how you liked it, and Cupcake.
Yes, and boy, that was a race, and it may not look like much just watching it, but when you're racing in that kind of environment, it makes you appreciate the art of racing in the rain, in the wet. It teaches you throttle control, brake control, so what a race.
Yeah, indeed. So on the screen now, I've got I'm gonna put these side by side here really quick. So we've got the stats here for each of the team points.
Yeah, let's run down that
way. It doesn't look very professional, folks. I'm an amateur video guy, to say the very best of myself. But
while you do that, let's just say a couple things. So Turbo, unfortunately, if you guys remember, in lap 2, he unfortunately didn't finish the race, but he is going to get last place points, which is 2 points. So while you do that, Chris, that extends his lead to 77 points in first place. Night Kid is in second place at the moment with 59 points. Patriotic in third with 58 points. Presidio in fourth with 57. Cupcake in fifth with 56. We don't make these up, guys. There is literally 1 point difference between everybody. This is how close this is. Francisco has jumped the leaderboard now into sixth place with 47 points, just ahead of Joey, becoming the number 1 driver at that team finally. He's been trying really hard, but Joey's a fast driver. He's in seventh place with 42 points, only 5 points behind. J-Rod in 8th place with 25 points. Trology in 9th, very close by with 23 points. Benchu over in 10th with 18. V Grosso tied for 11th with Venom with 17 points. Kituation, which he didn't finish the race. He did retire because of, unfortunately, getting onto the wrong tire compound and not being able to switch back to intermediates. So he finishes the race also with 2 points, puts him up to 15 points. That's unfortunate. He could have really done really well there. Then we have Dragon Eagle with 13 points, tied with Igorski with another 13 points. We got then David Hendricks, an independent driver with 11 points, Apex in 18th with 5, and Death Sights, which was a wild card driver from BDRT with 2 points in 19th place. And that's the standings at the moment.
Yep. And if we look at our team standings, after this race, Alfa Romeo moved to the top of the manufacturer leaderboard, passing AlphaTauri. So they are now up at the top, and Night Kid surpassed Presidio as the top driver. So Alfa Romeo has jumped up the leaderboard. Racing Point has jumped up the leaderboard. So we've got 116 points for Alfa Romeo, 95 for AlphaTauri, 88 for Racing Point. Williams and McLaren are tied at 71 points each. Red Bull at 44, Mercedes at 40, and Ferrari at 30. It's very interesting to see Mercedes and Ferrari at the bottom of anything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So for those that aren't aware, the way that our point system worked this year, so first place gives you 25 points, second place gives you 16, third 13, then it's 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and the last 3 people, 14th, 15th, and 16th all 3 get 2 points. And that's just so the last place doesn't get 0. We're using the scoring system that they use in MotoGP, and you know what? I have to say, it's clearly working because the points are tight.
Oh, they
I
are.
mean, this is going to be a tight season, and I'm excited. I don't know how you guys feel.
I feel excited. This is gonna be a really good season. We still have 16 races to go, so I mean it's anybody's game. We already know that there's some drivers on Team Ferrari that have been having some issues fielding their cars, and our wildcard drivers have been taking precious points away from some of these teams.
And that's what
when
we
they can't
like, though.
participate.
I don't know about you, Cupcake, but I feel like it's kind of interesting to, we get these wild card guys, sometimes they're mid pack races, sometimes they're, up there, but it really keeps everybody, it really does keep everybody on their toes. What do you think?
Oh, it does. I mean, it gives you that initiative of, hey, I need to try and make all these races because these wild card drivers, I mean, they'll come in, they'll steal your points. I mean, they don't care. They could care less about
Oh,
your
yeah.
team, what your driver statistics are. They want to go, they want to race, they want to get points. I would be, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a wild card driver finish near the top of the leaderboards by the end of the season.
Yeah, maybe not the top of the leaderboard, but
No,
definitely
no, no, no.
definitely ahead of, definitely mid pack, fighting for the bottom of the mid pack.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of these guys, they're going to be racing in and out. So the chance of always having the same wild card is going to be hard. But yeah, I completely agree with you. These wild card guys, they don't affect the team championship in the fact that they're not competing in the team championship, but they do affect the team championship in the sense that they're taking away points that possibly somebody else could have got, right?
Right.
Yep, indeed. Well, gentlemen, that was spectacular. I really appreciate you guys spending some time with us today and sharing your thoughts, your opinions, and helping us commentate this fantastic race. For
Yeah,
all of
thanks
you,
so much for having me.
yeah, no problem, no problem.
Yes.
And for everybody, come visit us, rwbracing.com. You can find us on Facebook at RWB Racing. Come check us out. We love clean racing. We're always looking for new talent and new drivers to come in our seasons. We have something going nearly every night of the week. And it's usually fun. We have our Gordini Mondays. We have our Gentleman Challenge Tuesdays. We have our Craigslist Racing Wednesdays, GR2 Thursday, Super Formula on Friday, and then usually some kind of havoc we wreak on a Saturday. I think we have the NASCAR thing going on Saturday right now, right?
Yeah, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, actually, yeah. And the host for that is, actually, we won't mention the host until that. You got to come and join us on the website and on Facebook, and we'll let you know there.
Indeed, indeed. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for your time, and everybody, come check us out. We're here to race with you and have a good time. Have a good one, everybody.
Yep.